one road. 4 provinces. 1,342 kilometers. It's the only national route other than the N1 that connects the Western Cape to Gauteng, but it's toll-free, less congested, and passes through the heart of the Karoo, the Diamond City, and the old Transvaal goldfields. Today, we're taking a complete journey along South Africa's N12 Highway, the unsung hero of the national road network. The N12 is a national route in South Africa that runs for 1,342 kilometers, about 834 miles, making it one of the longest roads in the country. It connects the coastal city of George in the Western Cape to the coal mining hub of Witbank in Mpumalanga. It passes through 5 provinces: Western Cape, Northern Cape, Northwest, Gauteng, and Mpumalanga. It's a road of incredible diversity, from the lush Outeniqua Mountains to the arid Karoo, the diamond mines of Kimberley, the maize fields of the Northwest, and the industrial heartland of Gauteng. So why should you consider this road? 3 reasons. First, it's toll-free. While the N1 from Bloemfontein to Johannesburg is a toll road, the N12 from Three Sisters to Johannesburg South is completely free. That's a significant saving for long-distance travelers. Second, it's less congested. While the N1 carries the bulk of heavy freight between Cape Town and Gauteng, the N12 offers a more relaxed, scenic alternative. Third, it has history. This was originally called the N13 before 1971. It passes through sites of major historical significance, from the Anglo-Boer War battlefields around Kimberley to the former homelands and the places that shaped South Africa's Industrial Revolution. The most important section of the N12 for Gauteng residents is the N12 Southern Bypass. This is part of the Johannesburg Ring Road, one of the busiest freeway systems in Africa. From the Diepkloof interchange, where it splits from the N1, the N12 heads east through the southern suburbs of Johannesburg, past Southgate, Ridgeway, Winchester Hills, and Oakden, all the way to Alberton. At the Elands interchange, it merges with the N3, forming the N3 Eastern Bypass, before splitting again at the George Bezos interchange, formerly Kilulis, near Bedfordview, purported to be the busiest interchange in the southern hemisphere. The N12 begins just southeast of George, at an intersection with the N2 Highway. For the first few kilometers, it runs concurrently with the N9 before they split. The first major landmark is the Outeniqua Pass. This is a spectacular mountain pass that takes you over the Outeniqua Mountains, through the Witfontein Nature Reserve. The views from the top are breathtaking. On a clear day, you can see the Indian Ocean to the south and the Karoo to the north. The pass ends at an intersection with the R62, where the N12 splits from the N9 and runs concurrently with the R62 for about 33 kilometers towards Oudtshoorn. Oudtshoorn is the ostrich capital of the world. If you're doing this drive, it's worth a stop to see the Kengo Caves or visit an ostrich farm. From Oudtshoorn, the N12 continues east-northeast for 35 kilometers, bypassing Disselstoop, to reach the Rust, where it meets the R341. Then comes one of the highlights of the entire route, Maringspoort. This is a spectacular gorge cut by the Groot River through the Swartberg mountain range. The road winds through the port, crossing the river several times on low-water bridges. It's a truly memorable driving experience. After Maringspoort, at Klaastrom, the N12 cosigns with the R407 for a few kilometers before heading north again. The N12 then makes a 120-kilometer journey across the Great Karoo to Beaufort West, the oldest town in the Karoo. The N12 joins the N1 for 4 kilometers, passing the R553 Golden Highway, up to the Diepkloof interchange, the southwestern corner of the Johannesburg Ring Road. This is where the magic happens. While the N1 continues north as the N1 Western Bypass, through Soweto and Roodeport, the N12 becomes the highway going eastwards through the southern area of Johannesburg, the N12 Southern Bypass. I've seen the N12 Southern Bypass described as reminiscent of the freeways of Los Angeles. With the high rock cuttings and Johannesburg's year-round sunshine, it really does have a Southern California feel, just with more taxis. Just after splitting from the N1, north of Southgate Shopping Center and south of the Aeroton Industrial Area, the N12 meets the M1 at the Uncle Charlie's interchange. The M1 heads north to Johannesburg Central and Sandton, while the N12 continues east. The N12 then passes through many southern suburbs, including Ridgeway, Winchester Hills, and Oakden. It then enters Alberton. At the Reading interchange, the N12 meets the R59 Cybrand Van Niekerk Freeway, which heads south to Vereeniging and Sasolburg. The next off-ramp, with the M31/R103, provides access to Alberton Central. At the Elands interchange, the N12 flies over the N17 and merges with the N3 from Heidelberg and Durban to form the N3 eastern bypass of the Johannesburg Ring Road. Thanks to the Gauteng Freeway Improvement Scheme, there are now slip roads linking the N17 to the N12, meaning you can now travel from the N17 west to the N12 west and from the N12 east to the N17 east. The N3 and N12 run together northwards, bypassing Germiston to the west, and intersect with the M2 at the Geldenhuys interchange, which provides access to Germiston Central in the east and Johannesburg Central in the west. Then you reach the George Bezos interchange in Bedfordview, east of Eastgate Shopping Centre. This is one of the busiest interchanges in the southern hemisphere. At George Bezos, the N12 leaves the N3 and joins the R24 Airport Freeway eastwards. It cosigns with the R24 for only 2 kilometers. Just before the Lanjaarumsholi Road off-ramp, they split. The R24 heads northeast towards Otembo International Airport, while the N12 continues east as a freeway towards Benoni and Witbank. The N12 then passes through the city of eMalahleni, bypassing Germiston and Boksburg to the north. North of Boksburg, it meets the R21, which runs from Pretoria to Otembo. The N12 continues east, separating Benoni Central from Benoni's northern suburbs, and meets the R23 north of the town centre. It then bypasses Davidton, meeting the R51 and N12 before entering Mpumalanga. Once the N12 crosses into Mpumalanga, it continues as a dual carriageway for the final stretch. The landscape changes from the urban East Rand to the industrial heartland of the Highveld. The N12 ends at Witbank, where it meets the N4 Highway, Maputo corridor. From here, you can head east to the Kruger National Park, Mozambique, or south to Middelburg and beyond. The N12's northeastern terminus is officially at the junction with the N4 in Witbank. The full route covers 1,342 kilometers, from the Indian Ocean to the coal fields of Mpumalanga. And here's something interesting, the N12 is the only national route other than the N1 that links the Western Cape with Gauteng. It's a vital artery for the country's economy. The section of the N12 from Three Sisters in the Northern Cape to Johannesburg South is completely toll-free. Most of the 1,342 kilometers route is toll-free. The only section where you might encounter tolls is in the Western Cape portion, shared with the N1, and in the Mpumalanga section near Witbank, shared with the N4. The Gauteng section of the N12 was previously subject to e-tolls from December 2013 until the system was officially shut down on April 11, 2024. Today, the entire N12 route is e-toll free. Unfortunately, like many South African highways, the N12 has been affected by road spiking. Criminals place sharp objects on the road to puncture tires, then rob motorists who stop. According to police data, there have been no reported spiking incidents in the eMalahleni district along the N12 from Atlas Road in Benoni to the Springs Policing Precinct. However, the N12 remains an identified hotspot for spiking in other areas. The Eldorado Park stretch of the N12 has been identified by the JMPD as a high-risk zone for pedestrian accidents, where illegal crossings frequently lead to fatal collisions. The South African Police Service has dedicated units patrolling the N12, including the Flying Squad, Highway Patrol, K9, and local station patrol vehicles. Weekly tactical operations address spiking and other crimes. Memo conclusion, 2130 to 2230. And that completes our comprehensive guide to the N12 Highway, South Africa's unsung national route. From the lush forests of George and the dramatic Outeniqua Pass to the arid vastness of the Karoo, the diamond-rich soil of Kimberley, the agricultural heartland of the Northwest, and the bustling freeways of Johannesburg, the N12 offers an incredible cross-section of South African life. It's toll-free for most of its length, less congested than the N1, and passes through some of the country's most fascinating towns and landscapes. Whether you're a truck driver, a holiday traveler, or just someone curious about South Africa's road network, the N12 deserves your attention. If you enjoyed this guide, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your own experiences of the N12 in the comments below. Have you driven this route? What's your favorite stop along the way,